in it today.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of the Traveling Groomers podcast. And we have a special guest today, and this is Marcia Strong.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Okay. Now, some of you may know her on Facebook as Marcia Strong. Is that not correct?
But it's really Marcia.
So, but you would be incorrect. Okay.
And some of you may know her as that groomer who does those hysterical TikToks about what your dog is really like at the groomers.
Oh, I can't, those things went way too viral, and it's a little scary when a video
No, they did
viral.
not go viral enough. They were fucking hysterical.
I told her. I was
made them
literally,
so I'm glad that everybody is getting a good laugh out of them.
I was literally on the floor dying when she had the husband.
Oh my God.
Oh, those are my favorite ones. I love dragging him into it. And I have to say, I do a very good impression of my husband. I'm pretty proud of it.
All right. I have a husband story for later, but I interrupted your first digression, Mary. And you were saying you would be incorrect if you thought it was Marcia.
That's right.
So
it's okay. Half of my family's going to listen to this and they're going to go, oh my God, we've been calling her the wrong name for the last 38 years. Half of them call me Marcy, Marcia, Marcia, you know.
Well, you know what? Our names should be pronounced properly. They should.
Yeah. And we were talking about this before we hit record, and we have really good discussions before and after we hit record. And sometimes we share them and sometimes we don't. Today, we're going to share them because Marcia was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what's your name? You have the right, and you should have like the agency to have people call you your name correctly.
It's so true. And I shouldn't apologize and I shouldn't feel bad, but I will.
No, don't.
I won't.
You know, I'm from somebody because, all right, my name is Mary. I mean, how can you screw up Mary? But you know who does?
Your mother-in-law.
Oh, yes.
How did I know? Okay.
I'm Mary to my mother-in-law, and that's how she'll write cards. Okay. Mary.
No.
Yes.
That's got to be on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think?
Yeah, I think your mother-in-law is a little bit of a, someone thou shalt see on the following Tuesday.
I got that.
I thought I don't do subtle really well. That was as close as I get to subtle.
That's seriously as close to subtle as Chris ever gets.
No, somebody did that to me once because I was working in a salon and we had a bather who was a little bit older. And I'm grooming at the back table and he's trying to get my attention and he's going, Chrissy. And I just ignore him because I realize that is a nickname of Christine or I get it.
Yeah.
But there was one person on earth who could get away with calling me Chrissy. And when my grandpa passed, he took that privilege with him onto the next life. And that was only because, I still hated the name, but that was my grandpa. So he could do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
After the third time. Yeah, it wasn't from him. Right? I knew I could take it. Fine.
Yes.
And he had like maybe 20 grandchildren. So at least 17, 18. So I wasn't going to confuse him with anything.
He's just calling you all Chrissy.
Right. As far as I knew, that's fine. But the third time this guy went, Chrissy, I finally went, that's not my name.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's not getting, he just thinks I don't hear him.
Yeah.
And I'm just purposely ignoring him.
Yeah. Yeah. I was raised in that generation where you didn't say anything, right? You couldn't say anything,
Right.
especially like an adult. Oh my God.
my God.
So I actually just started correcting my dad's side of the family about 3 years ago because they called me Marcy my entire life and it drove me nuts. And I just started correcting them and some of them had no idea that my name wasn't Marcy. They thought it was just Marcy.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyways, I am getting better at it, or I'm trying to, because I've been given a lot of shit for it, especially from like clients. Like I've been grooming their dog for 5 or 6 years and they've been calling me Marcia. And then say their daughter or their friend comes to me and they're like,
Mhm.
that's not her name. Her name's
Oh.
Marcia. And they're like, oh, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, it's fine.
See, and my mother had a similar problem, but not quite.
Yeah.
I will spell my mother's name for you and feel free to
All right.
guess how it's pronounced because
All
you're going to
right.
guess wrong. Her name is spelled M-Y-S-Y.
That's it. M-Y-S-Y.
M-Y-S-Y.
Miss
That's real damn close.
Mice.
Misa?
Missy.
Missy. Oh, Missy. M-I-S-Y. Yeah, never would have guessed that.
Yeah. No.
She never got her name pronounced right in her whole life, did she?
Almost never. Almost never. I think
Yeah.
I heard it pronounced correctly once for the first time and I almost fell down.
Yeah.
Like people who know her, like once she'll say it's Missy, and she talking about that generation where you don't correct people.
Yeah.
She said she had a substitute teacher at school once and she kept calling, her name and my mom didn't respond because it wasn't her name and it wasn't, she was in like first grade or something. So she wasn't used to it yet.
Yeah.
And the teacher thought she was being fresh and sent her to the principal's office. And she was starting to go to the office and just crying. And the rest of the class was like, no. That's like talked her down. And she just cried for the next half hour in the corner and shook like a little bird.
Oh, especially as a little young kid, right? You're not going to talk back to a teacher.
No, in the South?
Oh yeah.
This was in like Tennessee. No, you don't.
No.
You do not.
No. They could call you the full wrong name and you just say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I like that better than my real name, but
yeah.
maybe not. All right. Hey, Chris, something you need.
Oh,
yes. Come on.
by the way, lovely listeners, welcome to episode number 190, recorded on December 2nd, and that will be airing on December 14th.
She has to do that.
I get very upset and bothered when I don't do that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the end of the episode. I feel like people should know where they are and where we are in life.
We're terrible
or at least
at introducing ourselves on our podcast. We'll start chatting. Then we're like, oh, by the way, this is our podcast and this is who we are. And
why do you think we have the pre-recorded opening?
It's good idea. I'm going to steal that.
Mm-hmm. Open and close.
And we literally have a piece of paper. We write down numbers to make sure we get all the commercials in.
Oh, that's a very good idea.
Oh, absolutely. I think for a while we just guessed. And our editor at the time was like, you didn't do enough commercial breaks. I just threw one in there somewhere.
Do you have a certain amount that you have to do of commercials?
We have 5 sponsors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So speaking of awesome sponsors, should we take the first break, Chris?
Why don't we? We've been chatting for a little bit. Let's go.
Like that segue?
Is this where we just do our dance?
This is where we do our dance. And then I go, and we're back.
All right. So as soon as Chris gets a soundboard, Chris, you might be proud of me. You might just shake your head. but I interviewed Marcia earlier today for Women Petpreneurs, and you know what I did? I played the commercial instead of saying take a break for it.
Did the sound come
Go.
out good though?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she-
Now,
And she didn't say fuck one single time. There was not one.
she told you to say that, didn't she?
No.
Hey, Mary.
Yes.
At
Just,
least it's in the shape of a heart. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
there's some
true.
love in there.
there is definitely some love in there. Mary, just for
There's
that,
love in there.
just for that, don't open the next strange package you get from Etsy. You're going to have to wait till Christmas.
I know. I'm going to open it as soon as it comes.
I know she will.
I have zero patience. If you send me a present, it gets opened. It's just serious. It's not wait till your birthday or wait till Christmas or wait for no.
No,
We don't do that.
no. I'm terrible about even giving other people presents. I get impatient. I just want to give it to them right away. So I leave all my Christmas shopping till last minute.
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm actually really good about giving you your present early if I have it. I got no problem with that. Here, Merry Christmas. It's September, Mary. Yeah, okay. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we mean.
It's off my list now.
No
Now I don't need to
patience.
think about it.
I even am impatient with other people's surprises. I got told a surprise for some of our for a previous guest, and it's killing me inside to keep it.
Oh yeah, don't tell me any secrets.
It's
No.
killing. I mean, I'm doing it because I know it's important to the people involved that it's a surprise, but I'm
Yeah,
oh, it's so exciting.
yeah. I mean, I can keep a serious secret, things that will
Well,
hurt people,
yeah.
I can keep. But if you tell me you're getting a new puppy, or everyone's gonna know. I'm gonna
Right.
tell everybody.
Right. Like simultaneously,
No.
if you tell me that you witnessed one parent kill another when you were a child and it tore you up inside and you don't want anybody to know about it because they'll look at you differently, that I'll more or less go to the grave with.
Yeah, she
I'll
might
share
tell
that with
me
my
though.
therapist, because I'm gonna have to.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to have one
Yeah.
therapy person just so that
Yeah,
that's a little heavy.
I'm not carrying that one alone.
Thank God my husband doesn't know most of like the grooming community I hang out of, because I tell him everything because I have to tell somebody and he could care less and would never tell anybody else.
Yeah. And he doesn't know any of the names or
Yeah.
anything, right?
He remembers
mine.
names from me talking, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So
mine
should I
doesn't. It's just in one ear.
so should I send him like a friend request and then find out if you've been talking about me?
Sure, you can try. You can try.
Uh-oh.
Note I said try.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He is the vault in which I place things. My mind just went
Yes,
really
same with mine.
dirty right there. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
shut up now. Mary, say something. Save me from
No, I have no intention.
my
of-
awkward filth.
I'm just gonna have some
We're
water.
just gonna leave you there.
Oh, thanks.
We're gonna make
Thanks.
some dead air right now.
Yeah.
True friendship. I see. So
So Marcia has a podcast.
I did not know
do.
this.
We just started. We're not pros. Yeah, we're not pros like you guys. We're just brand new. So I'm listening to what you two are doing and I'm banking it all.
Are we pros?
If you want to
And,
feel better, go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go listen to our first episode, our very first and second episode. You'll feel so much better.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because
Why?
this is rough. It is rough AF. It took us a while to get an opening and closing recorded.
Yeah.
Our first like these fancy mics came from one of our fantastic sponsors who with love went, y'all sound a little rough. Here you go.
And then,
No, in a very sweet manner. And I'm not just saying that because I know he's listening. It was, it was like Christmas. It was the best. It was an amazing day. It actually was in December
is
too.
it Handy that sent you the mics?
yes.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
Handy
it is.
that's your sponsor?
Yeah.
Hi, Curtis.
That's cool. That's an awesome sponsor.
So, but like our first
Curtis.
couple episodes, and he listens. Hi, Curtis. We love you. Our first couple episodes, like I literally was recording sitting on my sofa with my laptop, no mic or anything, just whatever mic was on my laptop on my sofa. All the background noise, the dog, the street, the creaky doors, the low volume, it is all there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a sponsor. It's me. So I bought our mics and stuff. And I don't find it makes a huge difference between using a mic, but we only have the Blue Yeti. So I don't find it makes a huge difference between that mic and using just the MacBook mic.
Well, honestly, the MacBook mics are better than most laptop mics to start off with. Okay. So there's that. And I don't know, this is like professional mic that we got here.
Well, I
that's
also
what I said, like, it's just a Blue Yeti that we have. It's nothing like super fancy.
Now, I also found, and through discussions with Curtis, how you use the mic you do have also makes a huge difference. How you have the settings, how close you are to it. Like, is the Blue Yeti like a more condenser mic? What's it look like?
It is,
oh,
yeah. And
like,
you can talk into both sides of it. Like it sits straight and you can talk because we're in the same room when we record it. Me and my co-host.
yeah.
So it hears her from across the table and me from across the table. So you can speak into both sides of it, which is nice.
But how you use even that can make a huge difference. Because like when I'm out here, you can still hear me.
Right.
But it's not the same sound as when I'm here. I'm not off to the side. It
makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like if I'm out here talking, pointed over in that direction, it's not got the same. I also just turned on the radio voice. Sorry. It's not got the same rich, warm tones as when I'm right here in front of it, close by.
You got a great radio voice.
He does.
Yeah.
I can't always control it. I try. I can do it on purpose, but sometimes it just turns on.
Yeah. That's great.
But thank you.
That's like a voice that's nice to listen back to while you're editing. Do you ever get annoyed by your own voice?
I used to.
She gets annoyed by my voice.
Really?
I don't get annoyed by your voice, except when it says, okay, all right, and
Well, see, and this
in
is
quick succession.
This is my.
I'm the bad for the filler words. I'm bad for them.
Okay. All right. So we can have like scripts here, right? And we could just read from the scripts, but you'd be able to tell we read from scripts, right?
Yes.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So we speak as we speak.
That is true.
Okay.
I'm struggling not to say all right.
So don't give me shit about
all.
You killed me.
I'm the bad one for the filler words. I have the one that does all the editing. So I sit back and I listen to myself go, and then I also notice that I repeat what my co-host says over and over and over again. And I'm like, God, think of your own thing to say. Stop repeating what she's saying.
So tell us, what is the podcast about?
So it's called Bark After Dark, and it's for spooky pet lovers. We tell stories about like witches and their familiars, you know, like the animals that witches have. And we talk about spirit animals and animal totems and werewolves and
Why have we not listened
dogs
to
who
this
have come.
podcast already?
I'm not being
I don't know.
rude. I am just subscribing to this shit immediately. I'm not like just
Oh,
playing
okay,
on my
awesome.
phone because I'm like, what?
And then we also have every other Wednesday, we put out a segment called Education You Didn't Ask For. And we talk about different breeds of dogs and their history and where they came from and what they were bred for and what they were bred with to become what they are now. And I'm a big purebred dog snob, so I love to know everything about them and why they were bred and what they're doing today. So, and I love my mutts too. I have a little mutt. She's the best dog ever. But I like genetics and researching that
And
kind of stuff.
where's the best place to listen to this podcast?
We're on Spotify right now.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't
Spotify right
see it
now.
in Apple Podcasts, and now I have to make a separate trip.
No. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
apologizing
okay.
again. I'm not sorry. Go over to Spotify and subscribe. And I need to figure out the Apple Podcast thing.
All right,
I'm gonna have to watch a video.
Who's your host? Where does your podcast live?
So my co-host her name's Laura Brown. We've been best friends for the better part of 30 years. And she's also my assistant. So we work together 3 days a week, and then we record our podcast 1 day a week. And yeah.
All right. So like our podcast, like we're on iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, all of them. But where our podcast lives is actually on Spreaker. So we upload to Spreaker, and Spreaker
Okay.
puts it wherever it needs to go.
So we use Anchor.
Okay. But on Anchor, there should be a way to do it. You may have to verify. So there's like a little process, and it's no big deal. So
Oh, you talk about ship
There is,
cats.
and
Sorry,
we
squirrel.
talk about ship cats. And we talk about squirrels too.
I just went like info squirrel, and my brain went like, oh.
Yeah.
Very
all right,
cool.
so
Yep.
for right now,
there's-
it's on Spotify. Okay. But
right now
you
it's
know,
on Spotify. Yes.
Marcia's going to go looking into Anchor and seeing about getting it on all those other good places.
Yes, I know. I need to get it on Apple Podcasts for sure. That one's really popular. And they do
You know-
have the option. And I looked through it and I tried to I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video, Mary, and figure
Yep.
out how to do it. Yeah.
There isn't anything you can't learn on YouTube.
Right. It's true. Our dryer broke this afternoon and I YouTubed a video on how to fix it. I didn't fix it. It's still broken, but I tried. So anyways,
I did.
someone's going to have to come in and do that for me.
I did the same thing. I fixed my old washer by watching
Really?
YouTube videos. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Like
it was a simple thing that was wrong with it, because we had a front loader and the rubber gasket in front that keeps it sealed, kind of an important part, keep the water inside the machine.
Mhm. Yeah.
That got a hole, a tear, something. The water was not staying where it needed to be.
Yeah, Chris,
that's
you
a
know
big
how
problem.
I fixed my washing machine?
You got a new one?
Basically, yes. That's one option.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that one, but we might have to just suck it up and get a new one.
All right. So on that note, shall we take break number 2?
I was just looking at the time. We
You
chat.
guys are so on the same page.
I think that page is, page number 666 on the AKC, on the AKC guidebook or something. I don't know. I don't know what page that would be on, but we're back.
You know, I believe I have an
Shibas are probably on page 666.
And I probably have an AKC book here somewhere, unless I gave it to my daughter. I would run and go get it. and see
Now I
what-
want to know what's on, because I know it's a
Yeah.
thick enough tome that it has
I'm
that
pretty
page.
sure there's
Yeah.
like more than 600 pages in that book.
Yeah. Oh, do
It's
I?
probably a Sheba. I'm gonna say it's a Sheba.
Okay, you know what?
Sounds legit.
Let's take names and later we'll figure this out. So
Yeah.
Marcia says it's Sheba. What
That
do you
says
think,
a
Chris?
Sheba.
Oh, Chris said a Sheba.
No, I said it checks out. What would be the real one? I'm going to say flat-coated retriever or chocolate lab.
All right. And I'm just thinking, right. Maybe I go to Google and I go page 666.
That's what I'm trying to do now.
Does Google, in fact, know
on the
everything?
AKC. I don't know. AC
Stay tuned while we find out.
images for page 666 on the AKC book. I mean, some other stuff are coming up, but did not know there was AKC Satanic Surfers Rock Band 666 Motor Inn style.
Right. I saw that too.
Wow.
Okay.
I thought you were going to come out with a rule. Oh, I forget what the rule is. I think it's rule 68. What's that? Now I got to Google something.
All right. They're giving me images, but they're just like images for the AKC book. It's not like specifically AC.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything either.
Wait, we got something here on eBay. Is this page 666? Hold on. Oh no, it's page 123. So on page 123, it is some past winners of a particular year, I think. But I don't know what year.
I was thinking you would come across, if you Google that, something regarding Rule 34.
Rule 34.
Rule 34 of rules of the internet.
Rule 34 of the internet.
Are you actually Googling this? This is hysterical.
Okay.
What is this?
Okay. Rule 34
make
is
Mary
an
say it.
internet concept, meaning that if something exists in real life or is made up, there will be a pornographic depiction of it. And now all of a sudden, my safe search is off. Thanks a lot, Chris.
I didn't tell you to Google it. I was legit going to explain it in a minute.
Okay, so now I got to put safe search back on.
There's someone at my door. Are you guys okay if I just answer my door real quick?
Yeah, I can edit
No
it
one
out. It's
ever comes
fine.
to my house.
All right, I'm going to pause then.
I'm not going to pause because I'm going to forget. All right, Mary, turn the recording back on.
Oh, we're recording back on. Okay. So we
Okay,
paused
so-
there for a
So sorry
second.
about that.
So that Marcia can get her early Christmas present from her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she, like, no one ever just shows up to my house. And I saw her pull into my driveway. So, of course, my little dog groomer heart was like, why is there a dog here at 7:30 at night? Like, I didn't book anybody. And then she got out and I was like, oh. And she brought me a gift. How nice. I guess you don't have that trouble with mobile. You don't have people just showing up for
Okay.
appointments that
No.
You didn't
No,
book.
not necessarily. However, you have to be careful where you park. That's why you'll see like they have like little magnets, don't knock.
Yeah.
right.
And so when I had two clients move to a senior housing. All right. So it was a complex and it was out of my area, but the dogs were old. They were old. I was just going to finish up the grooms. And what I learned really fast was I needed to be out of there before 10 o'clock in the morning. Now I am not an early person. Okay. The fact that I had to
Right.
start my day at someone's house at 8 o'clock in the morning in an area that was out of my area, which meant I was on the road probably to about 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And had to get up earlier than 6:45.
Oof.
Okay. I was out of there before 10 o'clock because if I didn't, it would be all the seniors knocking on my van door. Because it must be
Oh,
good because somebody there is using me. Okay.
yeah.
And if you ever want to like build your clientele up really fast, do a free groom in the middle of the day at a senior housing. Okay. And they will all be coming knocking on your door. So I had to be out of there before 10 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning, before what I like to call the senior march. And they all go out and go for their walk.
The March of the Seniors.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we have dog walk o'clock in our area. So that's how I built up my clientele. Everybody comes out, and it's all like relatively young families. So everybody comes out after dinner around 6 o'clock, takes their kids to the park, takes their dog for a walk. And that's where you see everybody's dogs. So dog walk o'clock, we go out to the park, we hand out business cards.
Oh.
We don't need your input right now, Carrie Blue. You can go somewhere else.
We always need to Carrie Blue's input.
Oh, well, she's happy to give it to you at all times.
Hi,
I tried locking her out and she was scratching the door and she had to come in. So now she's in here and she just wants to make noise. Don't you?
Fortunately,
Yes.
Pooh Bear is sound
Her dog.
asleep, Chris.
Okay.
Oh, what are you doing? State of chaos.
Okay.
Is Pooh Bear asleep? Is he in your
He's in the sweatshirt. He's sound asleep.
sweater?
Sometimes he gets so comfortable, you can hear him snoring.
Oh, adorable.
By the way, Mary,
Yes.
there is a Cracked article, as in the magazine. There's a Cracked blog that gives the 6 most terrifying examples of rule number 34.
That's okay. I'll pass.
And I would suggest you pass.
It's not going on
Because-
her reading list.
Yeah,
no. It's not going to
it's-
go. Yeah.
They
It's
don't
not going to be in my
they-
browser history. Okay.
They cover all.
What was
the-
that again, Chris? Let me just put it in my notes. What was that again?
That was
I'm
the
just kidding.
6 most terrifying examples of Rule 34. And I didn't think I could be terrified.
Your
But
jaw
I'm
just
a-
kept getting lower and lower to the ground there.
Yeah, I just,
See, what I don't understand is just because I Googled Rule 34, why does it turn my safe search off?
it should turn your safe search on. That should be like
On.
blowing your safe search up.
Yeah, and it's in big letters.
That's what it
Safe
thinks
search is on.
for.
Woohoo.
So now I'm going to have to go manage that later. Thanks a lot, Chris.
You're welcome. People also ask, what are the rules for porn in English grammar? What? What people are asking this? What people are asking about grammar? And okay.
Some people are just really particular about their grammar. You know, I see them online correcting the yous, the yours, and the nos.
So apparently they do get off on
Theirs,
correcting grammar.
Yeah, they sure do.
Oh, I think we
Everybody
need
has
a,
their thing.
I'm fairly certain it's not time for a commercial. I think I just need I was going to say, I think we just need a hard reset, but I can't even say that now. I think we just need a reset because now I'm just,
It's a soft reset.
oh, that puts a stop to things.
Stop to things. Exactly.
There we go. Let's do that now.
How long were you Googling that stuff for?
Not very long, not long enough. Oh, okay.
Well, you know what my Friday night's going to consist of now.
Oh, I can never look at Mr. Peanut the same again. Anyway,
Okay.
so what made you do the jump from TikTok videos to podcasting? And I will once again say those videos did not go viral enough because they're really flippin' hysterical.
Thank you. I think I listen to podcasts every day, all day, because I'm grooming dogs every day, all day, and I wear my Bluetooth headphones and we listen to podcasts. So, you know, Laura and I thought, you know, we should do a podcast. We kind of are funny sometimes. So yeah, we give it a shot and really enjoy it. It's, you know, it's nice just hanging out with a friend and talking to begin with. And if we can make people's days feel a little lighter and a little happier and give people a laugh, then that's awesome too. So that was
All
why
right.
we
So
started
just
it.
one
And
more
also,
time. What's the name of the podcast?
it's called Bark After Dark. It's the bad podcast. Bark After Dark.
The Bad Podcast.
The bad podcast.
Bark After Dark.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. We try to center it mostly around dogs. Sometimes a cat sneaks in there every now and then. And
Well,
that's
you
fine,
know.
I guess.
We groom cats too. It's a good thing. It's fine.
It's fine. Laura's our cat lover. She's our allurophile. That's a fancy word for a cat lover. And I
Ooh.
make fun of her. Yes. So she usually does the cat episodes and I make fun of her for it.
No, it's fine. I'm a cat person too. I had cats before I had dogs.
Yep.
And I will totally be made fun of, and I will accept that, because if not for my husband, I 100% would be a crazy cat lady.
I don't blame you. I went to a cat. I got like sidelined into a cat show. I didn't show up to a cat show. Somehow I ended up there. I had never been to one before and I was fascinated because I kind of just thought like a cat's a cat. There's no like breeds of cats. Well, I was at this cat show. All of those little tents were set up. The lady was stretching the big cat out and everyone was looking at it. And it was fascinating. And man, some of those cats, they're cute.
They
So
are. And I am always impressed at cat shows because we expect dogs to behave. But as non-cat fancier cat people, we're just like, well, cats just do whatever the fuck they want. That's just they.
Yeah.
So the fact that these cats allow themselves to be stretched out and held up and, you know, shown off and behaved, and they're used to this, and it's just astonishing. And I know there's Tika, but there's at least one Tika person probably listening to this going, oh, that's just, I can't believe she's the ignorance. I know, I get it. I get it. It is ignorance. We just don't know about that side of cats.
See, now
not
I
at
don't.
all. I just started learning about it.
I love my cats. I don't have any cats because I have dachshund and min pin mixes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would need like a 40-pound cat to like smack some sense into my dogs.
Yeah, like a bobcat.
Yeah, I would definitely need a
cougar.
bobcat.
Something.
One of my clients has a cat that's just a domestic short hair that they rescued that plays fetch.
Oh, my daughter's cat
so
played
cute.
fetch too.
And, you know, there's really nothing better than a cat who chooses you to be the person. You know, you go to someone's house and they have a cat and it like rubs up against your legs and it does its cute little purr and its cute little meow meow. And then it sits on your lap and like bakes biscuits. It's adorable. I do like cats.
Now, of course, on the other hand, too, a cat will always know if you're afraid of cats.
Oh, yeah.
My mom hates cats. I grew up with a mother who, nope, cats belonged in a barn. Cats were not allowed in the house. She's terrified of them, doesn't love them. Anytime we go anywhere with a cat, immediately they come downstairs and they're like, meow. And they're like rubbing up on my mom and in her lap and like checking her out. They know. They're like, she doesn't like us. Let's go sit on her lap.
So we had the newspaper come out to do an article on a pet first aid class, and we had Ricky with us. Okay. And I know the sequence of events because one of my clients was the editor of the paper. Okay. So they got a new reporter in who apparently was afraid of dogs. And Chris, you've met Ricky.
Yes.
Ricky is a very, very friendly golden retriever. And
Oh,
yeah, so the first thing he did was to this poor reporter who's trying to like write an article on the first aid class, is he was coming over to her and he was rubbing up against her, and you could see like the fear in her eyes, Chris.
oh.
And they
She's
sent
just
her,
terrified of him.
and they sent a photographer with her who was fully aware of this whole situation and snapped as many pictures of the class as he did of her being terrified. And it was like, welcome to the newspaper.
Okay. Random family, random grandparent story. Apparently when my mom was growing up, they had a pony that lived in the backyard for a while. And I didn't realize this, but ponies smile the same way dogs smile, like that,
Oh,
lots of teeth.
it's a
And
little
this,
scary. Yeah.
which can be a little scary. So this
Yeah,
was
if you don't
back
know
in
what
the
it is.
day where when you didn't really put your garbage to the curb, the garbage man came around the side of the house and, got it from the side and the back. So the pony was super friendly. So he would always come, oh, look, there's a person. And the garbage man was a little afraid of him. So he threw things at him to get him to stop. But unfortunately,
Oh,
unfortunately, what
Okay.
he grabbed to throw was the watermelon rinds that were sitting in the garbage. That was the
Oh.
pony's favorite food.
Yeah. So the pony was like, we're besties.
So
Thanks, friend.
now the pony is like, oh, my bestie is coming. My bestie is coming. And he ran even faster, smiling and grinning. And my grandparents' house was the only house on the block that had to put their garbage outside the fence because the garbage man just stopped. He was like,
Oh.
no, I'm not going to that house. I'm not going in that yard. It's going to get me. Yeah.
Oh, that would be my favorite house to go to.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be that. They got that smiling pony in the backyard. I'll just go there
Oh,
every
he
day.
always comes over for nose scritches and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. That'd make my day.
And to explain that my sense of humor is hereditary, Mary met my uncle, and I didn't have to say of my aunt and uncle which one was the blood relation because he had a snarky comment right off the top. And apparently it runs through that side of the family because that same pony, he could get up the back stairs, but they were too steep for him to go down.
Right.
So he'd go up on the back porch and then be stuck up there, but the front stairs weren't as steep. So when this happened, Grandpa had to lead him through the house and down the front stairs.
I love that. I love
And
everything
when
about
there were
that.
other people around, he would make, now, did you enjoy your nap? Did you have a nice nap inside? Like he would just be all, and my grandmother wanted to die. My grandmother was humiliated. And Grandpa
Was
thought it
this
was,
your Chrissy grandpa? Was this
this
grandpa
was
who
my
called you
Chrissy grandpa. Yes. Yes.
He sounds great.
I mean, he thought it was the funniest thing to make the neighbors think the pony was in the house, and Grandma was just wanted to crawl under a desk and stay there for the rest of her life.
Yeah, she doesn't think he's funny at all. Eh?
No.
No.
But you can tell why this
Let it
was
happen.
this grandpa had the exception. Like he could
Yes.
just call me whatever. He was just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's great memories, eh? That's awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
my husband, when we lived in a condo, the walls are really thin, you know?
Mhm.
So I hear him talking in the shower, right? So I go over and he's like, yes, woman, you will do as I say. And he's going on and on like this. So people on the other side can hear this, you know?
Yeah.
So I did one of those little psycho scenes on him. I pulled past the shower curtain and then he screamed like a little girl. I'm like, excuse me? That's exactly what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm real scared of you, bud.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to wrangle back to something grooming related, something topic.
I don't even know. I think we digressed so
Oh.
far off. I don't even know what the topic is anymore. Chris, what's the topic?
Yeah, I don't think there's any coming back. Was there a topic to begin with?
I'm not even
Mary,
sure. Huh.
You're the one who set up the guest. I assumed you had topics lined up when you set up a guest.
Oh, so
it
that's
was-
my fault.
No. That was my bad. That was my assumption. What happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. Okay, so let's take commercial break number 4, and I will come back with a topic.
Okay,
That's fantastic. I didn't know there was a topic.
I
I
didn't
know.
either, but we have one now. Now,
What's the topic, Chris?
now the topic is, well, we had multiple topics. We did cover some of them. The topic was podcasting and getting into it and how we set things up, because that's been kind of a theme for a while, for at least it seems like a couple episodes now. But that's been something of a theme. The other thing is, you mentioned you have a home-based salon.
Yep.
What challenges have you faced with that, with setting boundaries with your clients?
People ask me that all the time, and I have to say, I have been so fortunate. None of my clients have ever shown up here to book an appointment. One guy did once for his very first appointment, and that was it. And then he pre-booked for the rest of the year. He never showed up another time. I have been so fortunate to have never had to deal with people showing up to book appointments, showing up on a weekend or anything. I've just been really lucky so far. I also am pretty firm with my clients as for like drop-offs and pickups. People know, a lot of people just wait in our driveway because they'll go grab a coffee. We're one-on-one. Their Shih Tzus are here for 45 minutes at the most. So they'll just sit in the driveway, scroll their phone, drink a coffee, and we'll bring their dog right back out to them. So I'm also really strict on, I have to be out of here by 2:30. My kids are done at 3. After 3 o'clock, I am a mom. I am not a dog groomer. I am not a business owner. I don't answer my phone after 3 p.m. I don't answer my phone on the weekends. And you get all your answers and texts between 9 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday. So I feel like my clients are pretty respectful. A lot of them, even if they text me on a Sunday, they'll say, I'm really sorry. I know this isn't your working hours. Please ignore me until Monday morning or whatever. And I feel like we've also filtered out the people that are not respectful of us or our time. So the client base that we have now is top notch. We couldn't be more lucky, but we've definitely filtered out a few people who were not respectful of us.
Yeah, I would think so. One of the things I liked about mobile was the fact that I'm in my own contained space. And so my van is gone down on occasion, and I did a little house call and I hated it. Oh,
I could imagine.
I hate being in someone else's space, and it's not my space. And so when I start off mobile, I didn't set boundaries within their own home because it's their own home. I'm taking their dog, I'm going into my van. So they had a different set of boundaries with me as a mobile groomer when I was in their own home, which when I'm in their house now grooming their dog because my van is down, it was, I can't do this. I will reschedule.
And Marcia, in case you didn't know, I do house calls. Like, that is my business.
Really? So you
calls.
Sit and talk to the owner while you're grooming?
Yeah, if the dog's cool with it. Absolutely. I have some clients who that is why they prefer the service. And even on days I have the van, I occasionally have my friend's van that I rent from her. And I have clients that prefer the van, not as many. And I have clients that even if I booked them on days when I have the van, they're like, no, please come in the house. Because that's what they prefer.
And honestly,
or they come in. I have one, if I
Yeah.
have to do it with the van, she'll come and sit in the van.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. For one thing, a lot of people come to us because we are very social and we'll sit and chat. And so we do have a lot of like elderly people that like we have quite a few elderly ladies that come every 2 weeks. And we all swear it's just because it's like their social hour. They'll come and chit chat with us for a little while. They'll wait in the driveway, read a book, get their little dog, it's bath and tidy or whatever, and go. And it makes it a much more personal experience. You get to know who is dealing with your dog, who these people are, instead of just dropping it off and not even knowing who your groomer's name, what your groomer's name is, right?
Yeah.
I like
Oh.
being able to provide a much more personal experience.
And you know what? I love
So, but it doesn't exhaust you.
Yeah. I
Sorry, I was
love
going to say, Chris, does it not like like mentally exhaust you to talk to people all day? That would exhaust me.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I am extroverted enough that it doesn't in general. Now, I have had some clients that I didn't vibe with, and we either didn't sit and talk, because not every client wants that. You know what I mean? Most of them
Right.
go, oh, they're worse when I'm not here, or they're worse when I'm here, I'm going to
Right.
go. But there's some that, them going is me being in the kitchen and them being over there in the living room, and I can still see them and we can still talk if we need to. They're just not, and we do still talk. They're just not
Hovering
right there
over
in front
you.
of the
Yeah.
dog's face. So
Right.
yes and no, a little bit. I do find I need a little bit of winding down time, but that is what the ride home is for.
Right.
And that's what the drive home is for. And if the drive home is not long enough, I can't believe I'm talking about this on the podcast. That is what the first place you sit down after you've been home all day, where you can sit down and close the door in the one room in the house you're not expected to be chatting with somebody, and just scrolling on my phone
Where
for
you
like,
book all your appointments and scroll on your
yes,
phone.
I'm like, rebook all my appointments. I'll play my match 3 game.
Yeah.
I'll
We're
sit there
telling
for
our
a
clients
solid
too much. It's
20
fun.
minutes. And my husband has learned not to come and talk to me when I'm doing that, because A, ew, and B,
Yep.
I'm not always chatty. I'm not chatty when I'm, no, that's
Yeah, just a little bit of
recoup time.
disassociation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have a drive home, so there's none of that.
Well, yeah, see.
I walk from one door into another door and it's like, boom, switch over. That I do miss that drive home from work some days.
Well, that's why when we had this house built out here, see, this is my office and there's a real door, a real like outside door here to go into the house. All right. And then
Yeah.
there's a room, and then there's another door, and then you go into the main part of the house where he's watching TV. So if he wants me, he has to actually physically get up, walk through 2 doors to come here. Okay. Or he can text me, in which case I may not get the text.
I didn't get it. I didn't see it.
In fact, he texted me while we
So it better
were
be.
we were doing the earlier one, and I didn't even notice it until
Yeah.
after we finished and I went out. I was like, "Oh, you texted me." Oh well.
It couldn't have been that important. He would have come through the doors and got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's got to be important.
it's got to be important.
If you're
It's
gonna-
got to
if
be
he's gonna-
important. And
be
Mary,
important.
speaking of early Christmas presents, I got an email notification that yours was delivered.
Yeah, but they deliver it late, okay? And it's dark, and I have to walk to my mailbox in the dark in the middle of the Pacific Northwest, and no, I am not doing that. I will do it
Okay, because
tomorrow
What's
morning.
out there? Why?
coyotes.
Coyotes and bears
Oh.
and bobcats, and
No.
so it'll wait till the morning.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Otherwise,
morning.
I would be gushing over it because it would already be opened.
And your birthday present was taking so long to get to you.
Oh, you want to see my birthday present?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So now when I go to trade shows, I'm going to be even easier to find. Because, you can't just say, hey, just find the gal with the purple hair. Not at a grooming trade show.
You can't do that. We all have purple hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. I usually always have some sort of, I'm getting Christmas hair next week. So it's always usually a color. This blonde has been around for too long. It's got to go.
So yeah, it'll be much easier to find. And this is fairly significant. I could hurt somebody with this.
It might be a weapon.
They also actually we went on this tangent before. It exists, but it's very pricey. They actually have like crystal brass knuckles.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
so someone needs their chakras realigned.
Yeah.
That's great. Needs their chakras realigned. Mary, I saw that you do Reiki.
Reiki, yes.
Yeah. I did a course. I did my level 1 years ago because I had a dog that I thought it would help. Very interesting.
It is. And depending on who you did your level 1 with, it's not like consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So some
it's very
people,
much how the person interprets it.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
when I did my level 1, the person I did it with it didn't feel right.
Okay.
And the second one that I did, I just went all the way straight through and like powered through all the way up to Reiki Master.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
good for you.
And also sometimes with the attunements, if you're not ready for them, they won't stick.
Right.
And
yeah,
I
didn't.
It's hard to describe.
It is. And I may not have been totally ready for it because at that time it was really new for me to do any of this like woo-woo stuff. Okay.
I can't picture that.
Oh yeah, no. There was a time I would have rolled my eyes and said, yes, you know what? That sounds really interesting.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? So the quick story on how I got involved with crystals, because I don't think you've ever heard it. I know Chris has. All right, so
Go for it.
I had a client that was habitually bouncing checks on me. Okay. So instead of like depositing the checks at my bank, I would just simply go to his bank. Okay. And so at the time, one of my dogs, that was Marcus, was not doing well. We had adopted him, or we took him from my sister-in-law. Okay. And he was a puppy mill he's got from a pet store. And he was recovering from a broken leg, which is why we had him. He was also a little bit of malnutrition going on there. So we weren't surprised when he was like 5 years old that he started getting sick, kind of expected it. And by the time he was 7, he had diabetes. He had bouts of pancreatitis. And what's the opposite in Cushing's? He had Cushing's.
Yeah.
All right. And every month his blood work was getting worse. And I was really stressed over it. Okay. So I'm driving to this guy's bank. And I could have gone the quick way, but somehow I chose the scenic route and went past a new age store that I was always a little curious about, but never went in. And I find myself parked in the parking lot. And I don't even remember driving in or parking the vehicle, but I was parked in the parking lot. So I'm like, all right, I'm here. And I go in and I look at the bins of rocks and I grab a couple. And I tell you, when I rolled my eyes at the metaphysical properties of it, I rolled my eyes. But I thought they were like, worry stones. All right.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a couple, threw them in my pocket. And a couple of weeks later, I noticed a couple changes in my demeanor. And just out of curiosity, I Googled those stones again, and wouldn't you know it, it kind of corresponded exactly to those metaphysical properties I had like rolled my eyes out earlier. So I'm looking for like education on it. And, it's not like you can go to the local community college and find anything. So there was like some crappy online stuff. And I did manage to find a really good program. But I'm in the kitchen of one of my clients, and I have groomed her 2 Shelties and 2 Goldens every 3 months for like the last 4 years. Okay. So I'm in her kitchen having coffee. We chit chat and we like each other and we talk. That was the first time I noticed all the rocks in this woman's house. They were everywhere. How did I not notice that the previous 4 years?
Yeah.
So she really set me on a path, gave me the correct books to look at. And so that's how I got started with that. And it was because I literally found myself in the parking lot of a New Age store. And I don't, to this, I can don't even remember pulling into that parking lot.
Oh yeah. The universe just brought you there. And I
Just
love
like
that.
really just like I'm driving along and went whoosh and pushed my car into the parking lot.
That's fantastic. I love all of that woo-woo stuff. We have a woo-woo store down the street, and my daughter does yoga there and stuff. So it's really cool. And she does all sorts of like, oh, they're not called seances, but I'm going to call it a seance. And she does rituals and stuff. And they're pretty cool. So we're lucky that we have access to things like that where we can go and get educated. But yeah, like you said, a few years ago, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Now unless you had like a fun aunt that knew about it, then great. But
oh, no. My cousin is Wiccan. Okay. Now I don't identify with any particular religion or belief on anything, but my aunt is as Catholic as they get. So my cousin hid the fact that she was Wiccan for a really long time. But her mother came over, and on her counter was like a book of spells.
Oopsies.
Oopsies.
It's just soup recipes, I swear.
Yeah. So now she's not thrilled about it.
Yeah.
But you know what? She has more tolerance for me because, I'm not her daughter.
Right.
It's different when it's your kid.
Yeah. So that did not go over well there, at least initially.
Yeah, I'm
no cool aunt.
I'm technically not in the broom closet. We just don't talk about it.
I'm not in the broom closet.
I'm technically
I love that.
not in the broom closet. How I did that was I told my sister, and we were talking about keeping secrets earlier. So the way to tell my entire family something without telling them something would have been to tell my one sister, God rest her soul, and tell her it's a little bit of a secret. So they will eventually find out.
I got a cousin like that. You want everyone to know, you tell her.
And there was nothing malicious about it.
Nope.
She just had diarrhea in the mouth.
Yeah, verbal diarrhea.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It just
into her head and it came out her mouth.
Yeah.
It just happened. Yeah. We just don't talk about things, and sometimes things pop out of my mother's mouth that make me go, "What the what?" like I had shoelaces on my Converse All-Stars that had stars on them. And they were legit just stars. They weren't stars. And she asked me what the meaning of that was, if it was some sort of religious thing. And I'm like, I thought they were pretty.
Yeah. At least I feel like I'm becoming that level of parent where I have no idea what anything my kids wear means anymore. So I ask those questions too. I'm like, oh, what's that? And my daughter's like, Mom, it's, like, I just want to know.
I know. I'll listen to some people talk and then conversation, and Google is your friend. It really is.
Oh, it is. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. It 100% is. Okay. my husband and I were discussing this on the way home from dinner. Tell me your kids don't do this. Tell me they don't wear the retro things of bands or TV shows that they have never seen before.
Yes, they
Oh,
do.
they do. Why? Why? I mean, this is nothing against your kids, because obviously this is a huge thing that people do this, but I'm feeling every second of my age plus 10 years when I say, why? I don't get it.
Yeah. My 8-year-old daughter wants to wear my Guns N' Roses t-shirt. I have like it's easily older than I am. And she's like, Mom, can I wear that? And I'm like, you don't even know who that is. You don't know who that is, but she sees it has some skulls on it and stuff. So she likes that. But the rest, I see a bunch of kids coming out of the school or whatever with like Tupac shirts on or whatever. And I'm like, do you know who that is? Do you?
Well, see, at least you kind of have enough control that you can go, you know what? How about this? I'm playing these 3 albums. And if you like anything, then you can wear it. Like you can expose them to it. I was midway through an intense conversation with someone once, and this is how, talk about being awkward and remembering things for the rest of your life. This was a solid 10 plus years ago, because I was working at one of the big P's and I knew which one it was, and I could picture it in my head. And the guy was wearing a Thundercats t-shirt.
Oh,
all right. And I was like, oh, I used to love that show. I tried watching it as a Delta. And mid-sentence, mid-word, I realize he has this utter blank look on his face.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
No idea what I'm talking about.
My childhood dog's name was Snarf, and nobody picks that up. They're like, Snarf. And I'm like, yeah, the Thundercats. His name's Snarf. They're like, what? Forget it.
Yeah, Snarf. But the sad thing is, it doesn't age well. Like, I tried watching as an adult, and I'm like,
no.
But what about that big hole in the egg? Did you see that big hole in the egg? Is that a thing to look through? And then like 15 minutes later, hey, what's this thing in the egg? I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. No, it's better left in the 80s.
Yes, it's a happy memory. The reboot was fun though. All
right. So
I never saw the reboot. Oh, we're completely off base now, aren't we?
No, we're going to come back around to that, but we need to take the last commercial break.
We do. Okay. We do. Guys, go watch a Thundercat episode. If you were not around in the 80s.
We're going to have to. Yeah, I never saw the reboot. There was a reboot?
There was a reboot maybe in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Terrible.
It wasn't actually. Let me see.
I know they were going to make a live action one.
Oh God.
But it didn't pan out, which is probably for the best.
Cats reboot 2011.
I was going to say that's not that long ago.
That's not that long ago.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. 11?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there was actually another one in 2020 that looks not worth watching.
Okay. Maybe
it's like
was the live action one.
No, it's still it's even more cartoony. It's a cartoony, lighthearted, whatever. But I enjoyed the one in 2011. And it made more sense. I think that's the one that kind of explained Lion-O. We're going really off the nerd deep end here, guys. Bear with us. It explained Lion-O and why everyone treated him like a kid, because he kind of was a kid, because they did something, they escaped, they weren't on their planet, and his cybernetic thing, like, when for long space travel, you go in that cryogenic, that's it, the cryogenic sleep.
Superman. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So his malfunctioned a little bit. So he
Oh,
was like
so
13 when he went in, and he wakes up and he's like all, big. And he's like, what the hell is
big and
this?
buff, but
He's all
yeah,
buff and
but
everything.
he's still all 13 up here.
But he's still all 13 up here, which is why everyone treats him like a
Really?
kid, because he's kind of a kid.
Oh,
And I'm like, I like that concept. I enjoyed it.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm like, wasn't there another, there's another one like that, like Hercules, maybe? No.
Oh no, it was He-Man.
Oh, yeah.
No, there was another one that got like somebody was cryogenically frozen and woke up, but they were older, but they were still a kid inside. Anyways, I can't remember. But yes, He-Man. I remember that one as well.
He-Man and She-Ra.
Yeah, I know. Really, it's like
Oh, God. Listen, and this is what the youngins don't realize. We acknowledge that a lot of our 80s cartoons were bad.
Oh, they're terrible. Yeah.
We can still remember them fondly and
Yeah.
like them and potentially defend them.
Yeah. You know
Just
what? When you
saying.
only had 3 channels growing up and there was none of this, you
Yes.
watched cartoons Saturday morning between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. That was it. There was no Netflix. There was no rewatch unless your mom put the tape cassette in the VHS and
Yes.
press record.
Oh,
There
and that
no
was
rewatch.
that was only if you were bougie. We didn't have
Yes.
one of those. We eventually got one, but I was in high school, like not when I was a
Oh,
kid.
okay. Yeah, we got one secondhand from somebody. So
Yeah.
my mom would record, I think we had a pirated version of Home Alone and like a few other things. My mom recorded for us. But yeah, there was no Netflix. There was no getting to choose what you watched. So
No.
yeah.
There was a dial that clicked.
Yes.
And then actually there were 2 dials. Then you set it to 00 or whatever and turned that second dial underneath if you wanted to try to pick up
that.
all the funky channels.
We had an antenna that we would turn to try
Yeah.
and like get it to come in properly.
Yep, that
And
too.
yeah, and
and
Saturday nights
there
we
was
tried to be
no
sneaky.
remote either. The
No.
remote was the person getting up to change the channel. The
Yeah.
best thing I ever bought myself was a remote for my husband when they first
Yeah.
came out. Here,
Yeah.
knock yourself out. Change all the
Yeah.
channels you want.
You can channel surf now.
Oh, and that's why. Wow, I'm not going to say that's why time slots were so important, because if it came on right after a really popular show, people wouldn't get up to change the channel. No, we're not going to go in that way. Topics. Whoa, are we just gonna say this is the digression episode?
And how does that differentiate from like 3/4 of our podcast?
Okay, that makes me feel better because I was like, maybe it's me.
No.
Well, you know what? I think we're just vibing with you so well. We just chatting and going off. No.
I feel the same. I'm like, I hope they don't shut their computer and go, oh my God, what was that?
No.
Just erase that one. We're not going to release it.
No. What we would do is we would kick you off and then Chris and I would laugh about it.
Yeah.
Good. Please air it. Even if you do kick me off early.
Oh,
and
no.
Make fun of me.
Because we took Thanksgiving off and I actually got my way probably for the entire calendar year of 2022. Mary usually wins our fights. So I squeaked one in before the end of the year. So we aired an episode the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because I said, the groomers are going to be grooming. There are some people who are going to be in shops, or they want their distraction, or even if they're cooking, they're going to want their headphones. They might want their distractions. So it's important we put out a new episode for their, yes.
But we didn't have one. And when we did that, since we didn't record on that Wednesday, and we had no more in the can.
So we usually,
But now we did 2 podcasts this week. So thank you very much. We now have one in the can again.
Thank you. So you know what? Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Fantastic.
That's great. Yeah, we need to, Laura and I need to get a few under our belt. So we have a few to release over Christmas, because now that Christmas rush is just hitting hard. And
Mhm. Exactly.
yeah, I'm like,
Exactly.
the last thing you want to do at the end of the day is anything other than just sit and veg. So yeah, it's nice to
Although
get-
I think we are taking actually taking a week off for Christmas and maybe just putting up an old episode.
We
Good.
could do
And
that.
not, I would say just
Yeah.
not even advertise it. I'll record an intro. I'll pick one, I'll record a new intro, and I'll go here, and you'll put that up, and we'll actually take a solid week off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
good for you guys.
what happened after Thanksgiving was I forgot I had one to edit because
You
I
do all
took
the
a
editing,
week off.
Chris?
I do all the
All
editing.
the editing.
So I forgot I had one to edit. So I texted Mary Monday, like mid-afternoon my time, like, it's going to be really late because I completely forgot I had to do that. I kept going, wow, I'm getting so much done off my to-do list. I'm getting so much
Yeah.
done. This is awesome.
kidding.
I'm just checking things off. Wait, what?
Yeah. Just kidding. Now you have an hour's worth of editing to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
With
Laura
the way
gets
I get
texts like-
distracted too.
Yeah, Laura gets texts like that from me all the time. And I'm like, it'll be released. I promise. Just maybe not 9 a.m. on Friday. We try to do 9 a.m. on Fridays, but it might be 10, 11, 12, 5 p.m.
It'll be
It'll
Friday.
get out there.
It'll be Friday.
It'll be
There you go.
Friday. It'll be Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This has been fun. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This was fun. It's a great way to spend my Friday night.
Awesome. Well, this was fun. And depending on where you are, there's still more Friday night to go. It's not even 8:30 by me yet. Woohoo.
Oh, it's 8:30 for me. And about I go to bed at 9. So it's, Friday's
Oh,
over.
okay. That. All right.
Yeah, I'm not
Awesome.
very-
But thank you for coming on. This was a blast. Guys,
Yeah,
don't
thank you.
forget, go over to Spotify
Yeah.
and check out Bark After Dark. I did take a peek at some of your episode titles. It looks like so much fun. I'm definitely going to be checking them out.
Thank you. And we're on Instagram too and Facebook, all Bark After Dark Pod. And we really love getting comments and interacting. And we want to hear, your spooky dog stories and your haunted grooming salon stories. So please send them to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
waiting
Oh,
for Chris to say safe
we're-
travels.
I'm going on Facebook. I'm like, oh, Bark After Dark on Facebook. All right, guys, safe travels.
Safe travels.